of the shutdown cake for 2020 was Some Forever. Like, literally, I had to put on my thinking cap like this. Like, I literally put on my thinking cap. Now, the backstory is Eva, my bride for my shutdown cake, was at Kensi 2020, and she booked me after she had seen what I had done at Kensi 2020. So literally, I had set the bar ridiculously high for myself, and she wanted the shutdown cake, and I promised her the shutdown cake. So this thinking hat was literally on, and then a light bulb went off, and I thought to myself, I've done a descending cake, I've done an ascending cake. What I haven't done is a cake that ascends and descends at the same time. So that was the winning idea for Some Forever. I call them my most guy couple. I mean, anytime I'm talking to Eva, I'm like, guy bride and guy groom, because Sam and Eva, they're a whole mood. She wanted her cake to be a shutdown cake. That was the one non-negotiable point on everything. The next thing was her colors. She said she wanted shades of blush, black, and rose gold. So I thought to myself of doing a black cake. Then I thought, after the consultation, she was like, her cake must be sweet and tins. No one else. I said, okay, that's fine, because I personally love sweet and tins. So I called Jifa, and then I said, Jifa, there's this wedding. It's for December. And then Eva, because she was very forceful, had also spoken to the photographer, Reflex Images, that she wants Jifa, I think she wanted Sweet and Tins to know that, like, she wanted to register her spot with Sweet and Tins. So everybody was getting through to Jifa to know that there's this bride called Eva, you must do her cake for her. So it was quite early for her cake consultation then, also because COVID had come in and all of that. But she was very persistent, so we managed to get a consultation for Eva with Jifa. So first consultation, we come in, and very usual of Jifa, she wants to know what the client wants. Eva, what do you want? And Eva wants the shutdown cake for the year. What ideas do you? Jifa, I trust you. I was like, okay, that's good, because I personally believe that creatives should be left to be creative in their spaces. I decided to do something that was very textured, but that was very classic as well. And so I took out the black completely, and I worked primarily with rose gold and blush. So those are the two colors that I focused on for the entire color scheme of the cake. Because I didn't want a situation where it was going to blend in too much with the decor. And I also wanted a cake that had a lot of presence, much like the bride, Eva. So I wanted to create a cake that was like wow, but also very elegant, and that make you like take a double take. For their hashtag, which happens to be a favorite for a lot of people, we came up with 3 hashtags, and we ran it by Sam and Eva. They initially opted for something else, and then after a while she came back to me and she's like, Christy, and I think say you're using Some Forever. No, I'm like, okay, that's cool. So we decided to name everything we dealt with considering the wedding Some Forever. So you realize even a group page on the wedding is called Some Forever. Like everything was Some Forever for this wedding. So fast forward, I get to Kumasi on Wednesday for the wedding,
I'm expecting Jifa to come in on Thursday.
The drama of getting the cake from Accra to Kumasi was one for the books because we had to take the cake in 2 parts. I took the cake in a van to Kumasi with a driver, and then my team, my electrician, and then an assistant were supposed to follow with the mechanical stuff. Now, I left in the afternoonish, and they're supposed to leave in the evening, and then they got a quarter of the way literally, and then the car broke down. And so we had to now find another car.
It's getting late, so I would call the photographer. I'm like, Paul, have you heard from Jifa? He said no. I was like, okay, it's getting late. So I called Jifa and she said, Christy, I'm on my way, I'm coming. And I was like, okay, that's fine. Then a few minutes or hours later, Jifa calls back, Christy, my other car broke down. I'm like, Jifa, cool down. Where is the car? What does the car have in it? And we'll figure something out.
So they had to move, get another car to pack the stuff in. And the electrician had to come to Kumasi. And then my other assistant and driver had to come back to Accra to fix the car. So literally, the electrician got to Kumasi around 2 a.m. And at that time, I was working on the cake solo. Now, this is a 6-tier cake. The smallest tier being 6 inches and the largest tier being 20 inches. So they were huge. And they were all 8 inches tall. So literally, the cake was ridiculously big. And we had to bead this cake in Kumasi because of the journey and how bumpy the road is. There was no way we were going to bead the cake in Accra, because we would have lost all the beading and the pearl work by the time we had gotten to Kumasi. So we had to do all the detailing in Kumasi in a matter of 2 days, because we got to Kumasi on Thursday. We had just Thursday, and we had Thursday, because we got to Kumasi Thursday, so Thursday was out. We had only Friday, because the wedding was Saturday. So we had 24 hours to do the beading on this cake.
So Jifa worked tirelessly through Friday. She had a lot of rounds to do to get everything right. I mean, her team arrived as well on Saturday. I think they came in like 2 hours to the wedding or something like that. I knew my sister was hot. So I tried checking up on her if she needed anything. She pulled off a very beautiful cake, I must say. When I saw the cake, I was like, wow.
It was such like a heart-racing thing, but then when it was done and the bride was happy and she gave me a kiss at the end of the night, I was like, whew, I can sleep. I felt like I had found a cure to COVID-19 at that point, because it was just like one thing after the other. But that's what makes what we do so exhilarating, and I wouldn't have it any other way, because for me, every cake is an adventure. Every cake is an opportunity to experience something different, to build on the knowledge that we've acquired over the years. Like, all these cakes have been inspired by the possibilities that we realized we had after we did Kenty 2020, because there were so many things that we were able to innovate with animation, with mechanized cakes where a cake can open, a cake can detach, and so a cake can ascend and rotate at the same time. And so all these things we were able to accomplish out of one innovative move. And so I feel like the sky is the limit, because we constantly are pushing ourselves and not resting on the glories of yesterday. We're always trying to build on what we achieve and always trying to innovate.
The bride was just.
So I call her Eva the Diva. Eva the Diva, the bride with the green hair and the beautiful kente. Stay tuned to the next episode of Cake Has an Experience.